Hey, Messiah, Texas people. It's Tuesday. You know what that means. Time for Testimony Tuesday. It is my privilege, my honor, to be able to share with you the first testimony of Testimony Tuesday. And I was thinking, what testimony should I share? There are so many amazing Messiah, Texas testimonies. Just came back from preteen camp, just came back from young adults. Looking forward to winter camp that we just picked a theme. You'll find out at summer camp. Looking forward to summer camp. What do I talk about? But I think you got to start at the beginning. So my testimony today is going to consist of the origin story of Messiah, Texas. It involves things like a Brad Scott, a Corey Stallsworth, Ty Porter, Brandon Darby, and so many other characters along the way. So Brandon and I served together in a congregation in Odessa, Texas. We both lived in Odessa. And then Brandon had met Ty. I think they met through a Hebrew school or something. And they had met. And Ty had been the director of Messiah West Coast. Shout out to Messiah West Coast. What's up, NWC people? And he talked to Brandon about coming out and doing rec. Because Brandon and I had done camps for years. At the Baptist encampment there in Stanton. And he said, man, I'd love to. Well, come to find out they need counselors. And Ty says, well, I know this guy in Odessa, Texas. He's done camp counselor stuff for years. You want me to bring him? And he said, sure, bring him. So I came. Well, then we found out that Elijah is going. And so they're heading there. So I was like, okay, well, we'll go together. And Ty was flying out, I think. So Elijah, Brandon, and I hop in my minivan and we drive to California. We go through, all the states, all the things, drive through the night. And we get there and we're in California. And California and Brian Serrano do not mix. I'm like, I don't like it here. This is liberal. I could care less about being here, whatever. And then we get to Brian's house. Brian is the president of Growing in Torah. And we get to his house and I'm like, with a guy named Brian, how bad can it be? Brian Barnes is the man. So we go meet him and his family and they're hosting us, great hosts. We're hanging out, we get ready. Brandon's actually doing this wine thing where he presents and raises money for Israel. Really cool thing, really cool night, and we just have a blast. Well, then we head to camp. We're having such a good time. I met so many people there. I met Miriam Varner there. I met Brianna there. No, I don't think Brianna came yet. But that's where I met Corey Stallsworth. The Corey Stallsworth was at camp with us. He was actually at all three camps with us. We were there. We were at Camp Yeshua. And then, as you're going to find out, we start Messiah, Texas. And he was at all three. We had a great time. Got to know him, fell in love with him instantly. So much laughing, so much dogging on California together. And as a guy from Oklahoma, Corey appreciated finally being in a state where he could be the one making fun instead of the one being made fun of. But we're having a good time. We're meeting all these kids. And Brad Scott, one of my mentors in this walk, one of my mentors in this faith, and may his name always be a memory to everyone. And he's teaching, and he tells Ty Porter, Brandon Darby, and myself, hey guys, you should really have one of these in Texas. There's a lot of Messianic people in Texas. Why don't y'all have one? And we're like, you know what? I bet we could pull it off. And we kind of agree that, you know what? Hey, next year, we're going to do this. Next year, we're doing this thing. Come next summer, we're going to have a thing. We'll call it Messiah, Texas. Cool. Night goes by and Brad's like, why are you waiting? There's still summer. Y'all can pull it off this summer. We're like, well, I mean, that's a big task, pulling off a youth camp in just a few months. And we said, okay, you know what? Let's do it. So we commit to do it. And We book it for Labor Day weekend because it was so late in the summer. That was the opening we could find. And we're like, this will still give us, we'll be able to go Friday through Monday. I think we went, maybe we went Thursday. I can't remember. And we'll have a shorter one the first year, but let's do it. Let's launch it and let's see who comes. I got Alicia to come be the worship leader, Chris Knight to come be the morning speaker. And we had a great band. We had Jeremy Bowen from Lubbock. Now he was in Odessa at the time. He came and led with Alicia. Chris played drums. The Daniel Musson on bass guitar. He's now one of our elders here at my congregation. And we got to start hanging out and really get to know him as he played bass there at Messiah, Texas. And then the other big Chris playing on the electric. We just had a really good time. Great worship. There was a few of us in that big old brand new worship center they had, and we just had a blast. God was good. We saw the Spirit move. We saw lives being changed, and I got to meet so many people. The Lauras were there. I had met them in California. Now I got to see them come to something in Texas, or maybe they weren't at the first one, but the Mussons were there. Tyndall was there. There was all these people who I got to connect with. And God had us put together, rather hurriedly, what he has now turned into a multi-event ministry. We're now working on resources. We're now working on different aspects of the family. Check this out. 3 guys who put a camp together. And that first year was pretty much the 3 of us guys. We had family jump in and help. But, we were the only leadership of this thing. And then soon our wives jumped in. And then we built a board eventually. And then we said, we can't just meet at summer. We should have a winter camp too. And so right away we did a winter camp. And so we now started under the direction of Brad, the urging of Brad. And now where we're at here in 2024, we run a summer camp every year. This summer is going to be our biggest camp in history. We run a winter camp every year. We run 2 young adult retreats a year. Now we started where we're going to have a preteen camp every year. We have marriage ministry that you can book a retreat at your church or at another location, and the Darbys will come to you and do a marriage weekend. We're looking at doing bigger things with that in the coming year. We have fundraising team. We have discipleship integration and training team. We have a fundraiser team. And then we have the privilege, responsibility, but the privilege of hosting one of God's feasts. And we get to host Sukkot, and we get to host at Lake Whitney, Texas Tabernacles. I think if you would have asked us, hey, are you committing to all this? We'd have said, no, we're committing to a youth camp. But we are so glad where God has us. Ty is still with us. He is the president of the organization. He is the director of summer and winter camps. He's at our young adult retreats as a teacher. He's one of the 9 directors of Sukkot. What a friend, what a godly man. And he's a great front man for our organization as the president. Brandon is still a board member. He's been there since the beginning. He's the rec boss. All things rec come through Brandon Darby. Does such an amazing job with that at young adults and at camps, and even has started some stuff at Tabernacles. And then our wives. Everybody knows Miss Randy Kay, our prayer captain at all the events. Big prayer warrior, that woman. And got to see that grow through Messiah, Texas, and really develop through Messiah, Texas events and stretching and her willingness to grow. Jessica Darby, she's our administrator, one of our 3 staff members, and she's at every event as the registrar or administrator. Preteens was the first one she missed because, she thought she'd have a baby. So, but that let Melissa Musson step up. And now Melissa's in that role and loves it. And she's our 3rd staff member as our administrative assistant. My wife, Mama Duck, she is camp mom at so many. She got to be the photographer for young adults. So multi-talented. She has had more one-on-one conversations with students than just about anybody through the years. And she's on our advisory board. And I get the honor and privilege of being the executive director, the face of Messiah, Texas. And it is such an honor to see where God started, where he has us, and I can't wait to see where he's taking us. And I hope you come to one of our events and fall in love with it as much as we have. And I really hope that this isn't a saying, but a truth, that when you leave your first Messiah Texas event, you'll walk away saying, wow, I've got friends at Messiah, Texas.